Oh man, I can't wait to watch the entire trilogy. Now hold on a second. A marathon cannot be without a drink and a bowl of chips. Alright, let's start with the first movie, shall we? Oh, man, I overslept. What time is it? Delivery. I didn't order anything.
Here you go, it's all yours.
Hey, you look familiar.
No, you don't know me. You don't know. It's somebody else. It's somebody else. It's somebody else. You don't know me.
It was with a low-budget mustache and that low-budget outfit.
No, you don't know. You don't know me. No, sorry.
Don't know what that was all about, but, I don't know who sent me this, but, you know, fuck this low-budget rapping. Oh. I noticed that you watched all 3 of the Matrix films, so I'm giving you this game that is based on the films for you to try. Enjoy. Might as well give this game a try.
A few moments later.
No! Why did you do this to me? We all know that movies cannot make an adaptation on video games correctly. The reason for this is because that they failed to follow the same story and formula of what made the game terrific. Now, video games based on films, on the other hand, is a different story. Video game developers actually take whatever was in the movie and bring it to our home consoles and computers, giving us a chance to gain control over the main character's movesets. Take Batman Begins, for example. The story is similar to the original plot, with some added content to bring more depth to it. The gameplay also matches what it's like to be the Batman, with the stealth, combat, and the use of his gadgets. But that doesn't mean every video game adaptation of movies is good. Here's a list of games that failed to follow the same formula and story of the movies. Now, if you want my honest opinion about this, and this goes out for the movies too, it is really hard to make an adaptation right. Well, unless you're one of those people that just want to make their own versions. But we're getting off topic here. I'm going to be reviewing 2 games today. Path of Neo and Enter the Matrix. I'm going to be reviewing Enter the Matrix first, since it was the first game that was based off the Matrix film. Before I begin, however, I'm going to be going over a few things. I'm going to keep track of 4 things in a game, each of them being 10 points, adding them up to 40. The story, the gameplay, the design, and the soundtrack. Every game will need a good story to give the player a good start of what it is about, and see if it is all related to the genre and style of the game. Next is the gameplay. Gameplay is the most important thing to a game because you would want the player to keep playing the game. Otherwise, why continue, right? Next is design. There is going to be different definitions of what the design of a game is, whether it would be graphics, AI, the level, lighting, etc. And lastly, the soundtrack. What is the game without any music, right? It would not just cover that, but also other audio tracks like voice acting and sound effects. So, without further ado, let's start off with Enter the Matrix. Alright, let's take a look at... What? Who are these people? Where's Neo? Where's the one goddamn... Apparently you are given the option of choosing 2 side characters from the Matrix Reloaded. Niobe and Ghost. Both of those characters will have different storylines, with each of them completing different objectives. What's really interesting is that the real-life cutscenes that appear at certain points during the game were actually taken by the directors of The Matrix. And they even included characters that were from The Matrix with the same actors, so that's cool. The downside of that, however, is that the story isn't at all interesting as the actual plot of The Matrix Reloaded. It's just a side plot of the movie that is about these two fighting against agents and machines. I don't know much on Niobe, but Ghost can get two different endings. Because of this, I won't really get into that much. Now, I was originally gonna give the story a 5, but I'm gonna give it a solid 6 just because the plot can actually be interesting for fans of the trilogy. Now, what makes a good game other than the story? If you guessed gameplay, then you are correct. Good for you. Whether the controls are simple and basic, or advanced and challenging, the developers need to have the players be able to play the game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I give you this. I swear, I have seen combat from other shooters and fighting games better than this. I'm not saying that the combat is terrible, but it could have been better. I mean, look at it. It looks so wonky. They both look like they're trying to master drunken boxing. And it doesn't even help with the camera issues that is on there. The moment you are ready to fight someone, the camera will move in close to you and your opponent, not giving you a chance to see what is going on around you. But aside from the weird fighting you will need to do, what about using weapons? In the beginning of certain missions, you will start out with either no guns or one. But sometimes if you had guns from previous missions, you can use them again. Using them in gun combat, however, they will already auto-aim for you, which is not much of a big deal to me. But using them in first person to get a better aim is shit. Especially when you use a sniper rifle. But there is a way to fix that. That's right. You will activate bullet time, which slows down everything for better combat against agents or get a better angle when you shoot. You can use it if you want to jump further, run on walls, and so on. But be careful of your focus bar as it will deplete as you use it. Now, as mentioned before, Niobe and Ghost has a different storyline with different objectives. Well, there are missions where Niobe will drive around, Ghost will shoot from the car to stop cars, they will both fight agents in certain locations, Ghost can also drive, Ghost uses a sniper to stop a plane, the list goes on. Well, I'm gonna give you some bad news about these things. Car controls are shit, fighting against agents is not fun or entertaining, it's annoying, using a sniper is a pain, and the only thing that is even the slightest to be entertaining is Ghost shooting enemies through the window of a car. Good job. Now because of these flaws, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. I know I should have done this already, but what the hell are these graphics? I get it was made in 2003, but wow. There are games made in that year that have done better than this. Even the character designs are hideous. I also noticed that the brightness seems very low. Let's change that up.
Why do you do that?
Yep, this game's unfinished. I mean, no one wants these graphics to get worse, so I am forced to play where the entire area is dark. I'm sure the AI is nothing to worry about. You serious? There's literally two sides of the enemy AI. They could either be dumb, making the game easy, or hard but annoying, making it impossible to beat. There's really nothing else to say other than bugs and glitches galore. Score for this? 2 out of 10. Now lastly we have soundtrack. Let's start off with the music first. Pretty much the entire game would consist of ambiance in some levels, and there are some times when music would sound like something you would hear from The Matrix. I know it sounds stupid coming from me considering that this is a Matrix game, but otherwise, I think it's decent. Especially that in the true ending, Evanescence going under plays during the credits, and when it comes to voice acting, it's alright, and by alright, it's not that good.
Stay above the gas. The cops are sealing the doors.
Where's Niobe?
She's trying to find a way into the building. You're flying solo. Stay above the gas.
Now, the score for the soundtrack, I'm gonna give it an average 5 out of 10. So it comes to this. Should you give this game a try? Well, even though the story is okay, the controls aren't as good as expected for a Matrix game, and the design is terrible. But there are some entertainment values in this game. Hell, in some sections of the game, it makes you feel like you're in the Matrix, which is something fans are looking for. But as I said, because there were so many flaws that I mentioned earlier, it just makes the game bad. So in closing, I will only give this game a try only if you're really curious about it, whether or not you are a fan of the franchise. All I can say is, it can leave a few disappointed because it's not the Matrix game people asked for. And with that, the game is a below average game. A 17 out of 40 for me. So in the next episode, we're going to be reviewing this game. Is it going to be better than Into the Matrix? Well, we're going to find out in the next episode. So until then, goodbye.